Welcome to Bed Crime Stories Podcast. I'm your host, T, and if true crime is your jam and like me, you enjoy delving into unsolved cases, trying to figure out who done it, please consider subscribing. Also, if you find value in my videos and enjoy them, please hit that like button. Kurt Wadworth's daughter, Taylina, or Tay for short, said on Salty Pancake's YouTube channel recently that she's been interviewed by the FBI and is in regular contact both with them and local law enforcement. She also stated that her father, Kurt Wadworth, has been interviewed by the feds and even had to hand his phone over to them at some point. Tay also stated that she and 15 other adult relatives were in Montello on Memorial Day weekend for a family gathering. We knew that, but per Tay, none of those family members went anywhere near Dylan's farm during their stay, and their cell phones prove it. And Dylan's phone has been shown to have never left Lucin on Saturday, according to Taylina. It sounded like she got that information from the FBI. Tay had so much fascinating information to share. I find her a very credible person. The only thing I question is whether or not she would know if her father is gay. She insists he's not, as does he, yet so many people from Ellen and Dylan Berg to Ty Corbin and Robert Avilas' mother, Yvette, have said that Kurt is gay. Corbin even alleged that Kurt is well known for grooming young men. Are all these people lying? If so, why would they lie about that? It seems more plausible to me that Kurt Wadworth is hiding his sexuality for some reason, maybe because he lives in a rough and tumble Wild West town where the men are supposed to be macho. Maybe it's down to some Mormon roots in the family. I don't know. Whether Kurt's sexuality is relevant to Dylan's disappearance remains to be seen. The other thing about Kurt that has come to light that's disturbing is that Candace Cooley said that a detective told her that the mobile home Kurt let Dylan sleep in has been wiped clean with bleach. If that's true, that is, at least on the surface, damning. Hearing about a space a missing person inhabited being thoroughly washed down with bleach is damning. It's suspicious. It just is. I think of missing person Maya Milliete's husband, Larry. I think of Suzanne Morphew's husband, Barry. I think of Shanann Watt's husband, Chris, and the list goes on. Can someone please ask Kurt Wadworth about that? Did he do it, and if so, why? I do have one thing that Taylina tried to clear up about her father, and that is regarding the backhoe, his backhoe. First, she said only Kurt can start it. It's old, and apparently it has some weird sequence that must be followed to start it. Also, she said that when Kurt went out to Dylan's farm on the Tuesday after he went missing, his backhoe was in the same place that he left it the last time he used it out there. Now, can we believe Kurt and Taylina? Again, what they share is hearsay, so it's not possible for us to know 100% if they're speaking the truth. I tend to believe them. That's just my personal feeling at this point. But then again, I kind of go back and forth as new information comes out. I'm only human. Here's another snippet of info from Taylina about her father, Kurt. Apparently, Dylan Round's grandmother, Karen Rounds, called Kurt twice on Sunday, May 29th. That's the day after Dylan went missing. She called him at 6 p.m. and again at 7 p.m. I'm not sure what she asked him. I'm assuming it would be something akin to, have you seen Dylan? Do you happen to know where he is? When's the last time you saw him? I'm sure at this point Karen was pretty worried about Dylan. And I'm assuming that Kurt would have told him that he hadn't seen Dylan since Friday, when he allegedly chatted with Dylan in Montello about Dylan power washing his truck, and Kurt told Dylan to call him on Saturday when he was done planting to see if Kurt could be available to come out and drive Dylan from that grain shed back to the farm, and Dylan never called Kurt that day, allegedly. Kurt's daughter Tay also talked about the key fob and the pistol situation. Were they found? Weren't they found? I'm going to say at this point, I don't think anyone other than maybe the FBI and the family really know that information. Here's something I want to remind everyone about. Take a listen to this.
So that search and rescue left that night. They were out until after dark. So we all went to the camper, to where Dylan's camper and pickup was, and we're looking through his camper. We're looking for anything, Can't get in the pickup, can't find the keys, so Justin broke the back window out of it. And
to try to find anything but the guns.
And Box Elder, we did have a deputy out with us at that time and asked him about breaking out the back window, and it was basically, it's your pickup, you can do whatever you want to it. And then nothing in the pickup, nothing in the camper, nothing. I mean, like I said, it was like everything was left perfect, and Dylan was just gone.
No phone, no wallet.
Correct.
Did you hear that? The one thing that no one has been mentioning being found is Dylan's wallet. Now that to me is an important detail. Whoever harmed Dylan took his wallet. That speaks to someone wanting whatever cash was in it. I doubt whoever did this was so messy as to use Dylan's credit cards or debit cards if he had any. But then again, we've all seen the photo of Jim Brenner wearing a John Deere cap that looked a lot like Dylan's, although I think the rim of the logos on the caps look different. One has a smooth outer circle, the other has fluting like the crust of an apple pie. Take a look at them again, you'll see what I'm talking about. Have any of you heard any additional talk about Dylan's wallet? It seems to be the one item of Dylan's that definitely was taken and that nobody has found since his disappearance. But let's move on to the important pieces of information that Kurt's daughter Taylina shared. She said that there was a couple hanging out at the Sun Tunnels art installation on Saturday, May 28, 2022, the day Dylan vanished. This couple saw 3 vehicles in the area that day, and by the area, I mean near Dylan's farm and also near the property with the grain shed and Jim Brenner's trailer. First, they saw a 4-wheeler early in the morning, traveling very quickly. I believe this is the green 4-wheeler, and I believe Chase Venstra was at the helm of it. I'm still not sure what he was doing out there, but it still, to me, looks highly suspicious. I know Candace Cooley has said that Chase is no longer a person of interest to the family, but Taylina said that the FBI agent that she's in contact with told her that there are other persons of interest in Dylan's case, even if they haven't been publicly named. Some people find it just a little too convenient that Chase Venstra was later seen on CCTV 200 miles away at a Little Caesars pizza restaurant around 10 p.m., I think, or so. It is a little bit suspicious. It does appear like he's trying to establish an alibi. Next, the couple allegedly reported that they saw a dually truck. That would be a dual rear wheel truck, commonly referred to as a dually. A dually apparently is a heavy-duty pickup truck with 2 rear wheels on each side. It's a huge pickup truck. Now, they supposedly told local law enforcement that this dually truck came out of the notorious gate, exiting the property with the grain shed / workshop and where Jim Brenner's trailer is, and that truck came out at 3 p.m. or a little bit after 3 p.m. so it's also the property where suspect Jim Brenner lived in a trailer. Now, according to Taylina, this dually truck is not a truck that belongs to anyone in Lucin or Montello. It's basically an unidentified dually truck. Taylina said she shared this information with the FBI last week and they were shocked to hear about it. Apparently, local law enforcement never told the FBI about this important tip. Now, 3 p.m. is interesting to me because, per Kurt Wadworth, Jim Brenner told him that he was at Don Hatley's barbecue that Saturday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. But when Kurt asked Don Hatley about it, Hatley told him that Brenner was at his barbecue from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Either way, Jim Brenner supposedly would not have been home at his trailer at 3 p.m. So who was driving this dually truck? Was it someone Jim Brenner hired to come and help him get rid of evidence? Was it this person's job to go to the grain shed property and dispose of evidence, namely Dylan? That would establish an alibi for Jim Brenner, right? Does Jim Brenner have any such acquaintances who would come in as a cleanup crew to wipe away evidence and help him out? Does he have some old pal from his prison days who owns a big old truck like that and is willing to come out and perform a risky task like that? Or was the dually driver responsible for whatever happened to Dylan and this person wanted to implicate Jim Brenner and let him take the fall for the crime? A lot of people find it hard to believe that even the notoriously not so swift Brenner would be so sloppy as to leave Dylan's boots in a place so close to the grain shed and Brenner's trailer, and to leave them only minimally concealed behind a dirt pile that is actually a burn pit for garbage. So did this dually driver grab Dylan's boots and toss them over there near Brenner's trailer to throw the police off? That's a possibility. But when we talk about this type of crime, it means that whatever happened to Dylan then would have been carefully planned out, right down to knowing when Jim Brenner left his trailer to go to Don Hatley's barbecue. That seems pretty sophisticated. I wish there weren't so many shady people surrounding Dylan Rounds and so many shady behaviors involving, say, his mother, who has been accused of owing something like $3 million to an ex-boyfriend. In a call that PI Jim Terry leaked of that ex-boyfriend's current girlfriend, I believe, she was talking about him, and she said that he really cared about Dylan and was like a father to him. I don't think that the guy she was describing would try to get back at Candace for this money that she owes him by doing away with Dylan. That doesn't seem plausible. Now, does Candace owe money to other entities that may have no problem doing something like that? I don't know. Taylina said that this couple that was at the sun tunnels also saw a truck pulling a camper. None of these trucks or vehicles, by the way, were burgundy colored, which means the couple never saw Dylan Rounds or anyone else driving Dylan's Ford F-150 pickup through that south gate to the grain shed property. None of these vehicles were Jim Brenner's crap car that overheats either. Tay said that he would have exited from the other gate on the other side of the property. I think that would be the north gate, and thus the couple would not have seen Brenner heading to Don Hatley's house in his own vehicle. Taylina also talked about Jim Brenner and that gate. She said that Dylan was known to argue with Brenner over the gate, and we knew that, but she also said that Dylan took the gate down multiple times to access the grain shed. She also stated that Dylan really did tell Brenner that if he didn't start opening the gate for him, he was going to call the landowner. Tay said that Dylan had known Brenner for about 2 years, but their rapport got worse when Dylan started spending extended time in Lucin, getting his farm up and running, and doing custom work for other farmers. He had to spend more time with Brenner, see Brenner more often. Taylina also said that when it came to who owed money to who or whom, it was actually Dylan who owed money to Kurt for work that he'd done on the farm, and it was something like $3,000 for work on the pivot watering system. So to me, it doesn't sound like Kurt would have a motive, at least from a monetary perspective, to want to take out the person who owed him money. That's just what I'm thinking right now. I really don't think Kurt Wadworth is our guy, in my opinion. Okay, so that's a lot to chew on. I hope it helps. I'm busy working on another video about this crazy case, and I'm also trying to line up some interviews. I do have a cute new emoji for members to use if and when we do the memberships, and I'm planning how to handle private content and special perks for channel members. So I'm busy. Until the next time on Bed Crime Stories, now do me a favor, please hit that like button. It's a great way to help support my channel. You can also leave a donation down in the comments if you feel so inclined, and do leave me a comment. I read them all.